Let's go, champ. I've seen people shot. I've seen people killed. I've seen people raped. George Foreman hit me with a right hand, Dan. He hit me with a right hand, and he hit me, and I was knocked out cold. And then he hit me. I was gonna go down. I was fading out. I knew I was knocked out, and he hit me with a left uppercut, and he woke me up. And I looked at him.
Welcome to another episode of Boxing TV. I'm your host, Dan Hewitt, professional boxing commentator. So first of all, we've got Shannon the Cannon Briggs. Let's go, champ! But just for pure energy and just for pure entertainment, Shannon Briggs has been in my top 3 bucket list for a very, very long time. He's funny, he's outspoken, he's got energy. I'm going to probably wee a little bit. Shannon, let's go, champ.
Let's go, champ.
Let's go, champ.
Let's go, champ.
What an absolute lads. How's things? Look at that. Mate, I haven't got that now when you're like, what was it you were saying the other day? You were 51,000 years old.
51,000 years old, champ.
Looking good for 51,000, I will say, mate. I will
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother.
For me, Shannon, and welcome to the show. And I've
Thank
been,
you,
I know
Thank you for having me.
Mate, absolutely is 100% my pleasure, my honor to speak to you. You're lineal heavyweight champion of the world. You've been in with the best.
I got the belt right there. Look, the belt right there.
Where? No way.
Champ. Yeah, the belt right there, champ. Look.
Let's go.
Look at that.
Wow.
You see
Ring
that?
Magazine. Whoa.
Look at that, champ.
Ooh. Champ.
And that's the WBO title right there.
Wow. Incredible.
And this is the New York State Hall of Fame belt.
Let's get you on full screen so we can see this. Wow. Look at that. Wow. It's a bit of history right there, champ.
Yes, champ. Yes, champ.
So you fought Lennox Lewis back in 1998, I believe. And you nearly knocked that guy clean out. Lennox Lewis said that you were the biggest puncher and the fastest puncher he's ever fought.
Let's go,
point
champ.
Blank. Yeah?
Yeah.
Which is, for me, I think Lennox Lewis is the best heavyweight of all time. I do.
Thank you.
I really do.
Arguably, yes, I could say that top 3 for
Joe
sure.
Louis up there.
Yeah.
You know, Muhammad Ali was very good, but he did get beat. George Foreman.
Well, we can't take away that they took 3 years from Ali, like 3 or 4 years. That we don't know how good he could have been had he stayed active. His style, you have to be active with that style, you know.
Absolutely. You said earlier on that you were homeless as a child, which is, I mean, that's like my worst nightmare. That is, champ. I'm being serious. Like, I love my family more than anything in the world. Like, I love them. I'm a proud dad of 2 kids, and I love them more than anything. But I couldn't think of anything more scary. And we're all that close. Like, we're only a couple of levels. You lose a job. Are you with me? You know, or your family member might die. You can't stay at their house anymore. And we're all in the same position. That's why I show respect to every single person. So talk to me about that then, about, you know, your homeless times.
Well, you know, I tell people when I was homeless, it traumatized me because, again, I was 13, 14 years old. I came home from school and I went to stick my key in the lock, and the lock was knocked out. They had knocked the lock out, and I, even though the lock was gone, I knew it. I remember still putting the key inside the hole, knowing it wasn't there, because it must have been something leading up to that day where I must have thought, like, my mother had told me, hey, I got to pay the rent. And I'm sure that was a lot of that going on. And I just didn't want it to be true. And then I looked in the hole, and when I looked in the hole, I could see inside the house, and I could see it was empty. They had took the couch, and they had took everything. So I was just looking in the hole, and I just was standing there, and I had my key around my neck, and I remember just like pretending like the key was there, and I was just gonna wake up, and it wasn't true. And then a lady, the neighbor, came out, and she said, she called me baby. She said, baby, come here. She said, her name was Mother. We called her Mother. And she said, your mother's on the phone. And my mother had called from her sister's house and said, crying hysterically, having a nervous breakdown, saying, Shannon, they kicked us out. My mom was suffering from drug addiction at the time. And a lot of times I was just home. So I was now 15, 16, I was now 16, 17, 18, raising myself really and trying to do the best I could for my mom. She was in and out of like psychiatric hospitals and drug rehabs. So, it made me a man overnight, to be honest with you, champ. To be honest with you, Dan, it made me a man overnight. I would have never been able to climb the stairs to fight George Foreman or Lennox Lewis or anybody had my life not had taken that terrible turn.
That would terrify me. Yeah. I'd be absolutely terrified if I come back home and my locks have been changed. I'd be like, what do I do now? Mate, I don't like hearing that, bless you. So one thing I did here, and please only delve what you want to, kind of speak about what you want to speak to. I believe that you were kind of abused as a child, from what I understand. Tell me about that. And if you don't want to tell me too much, that's cool. But just tell me what you mean.
Well, I grew up kind of fast. I was young, and I seen a lot at an early age. Unfortunately, my mother was a heroin addict, and I seen a lot. I seen a lot as a early child. My mom, she believed and trusted people, and let me stay with a lot of different people. I would stay with people that didn't always, they let me see a lot. I've seen a lot.
At
an early age. I've seen a lot, and that's a form of abuse because it leads you into things that you might have never been, upon.
Never approached or seen.
Right, never approached. Right. So that's. And then I think at an early age I was forced to grow up. I started working when I was 8 years old. I've been working since I was 8.
What's your work as an 8-year-old?
Yeah, I was I do that too if I could. I was packing bags at the supermarket. I would ask the cashiers at the supermarket, like the Tesco or the Sainsbury's.
Like Costco kind of thing. Like
Tesco,
Mate, them supermarkets in America are massive.
Yeah, you got Tesco, right? What you got? Got Tesco, right?
Tesco, Asda. Oh wow. Aldi. Go on, big Aldi.
What's this called? What's the other one? Sainsbury's. Yeah, so
the way that you Americans say things does make me laugh. We'll say Sainsbury's. Sainsbury's. What is it? Sidewalk and all this elevator.
Exactly. We took their language and ruined it.
Yeah, 100%.
I realized again, I was traumatized from my youth on what I seen early. I've seen people shot. I've seen people killed. I've seen people raped. I've seen things happen. I've seen so many things happen to my mother that it hurts me. I live in pain. I live with it all in my memory bank. I have been drinking alcohol since I was 13, 14. I started drinking. It started with beer, and then it would be like when I go out with the boys to the bar, we drinking, having bottles and shit. You call it pints. We drinking pint after pint. And and so I decided I've been 13 years clean, no alcohol, maybe 14 years clean, no alcohol. And I feel amazing. I got in phenomenal shape. I've had great, fights on my comeback, 10 wins. And I just been chilling out for the last couple of years. But I say that to say as well, when I was going through my depression, I needed something to trigger myself. So I started saying, "Let's go, champ," as my slogan to activate me, to also like a safe word. Like if I see myself like dreaming or floating off thinking about something negative that somebody did something, I would say, "Let's go, champ."
It can proper engulf you as well.
Yes.
Proper, it's a poison. It's horrible.
But it's good poison. It's good shit. It's good.
When you're saying good, when it's good, yeah. But and I'm talking from this, and I'm going to go deep with you. Yeah, like I'm talking from personal experience. I've gone through I told you earlier, massive journey over the last 6 or 7 months. I've lost nearly 13 stone in weight in that time. Wow. And that's a huge amount.
Champ.
Thank you, bro.
Champ.
Thank you, mate. I feel amazing for it. I really do feel amazing for it. But mate, it's a vicious circle, It's a vicious circle because you sit there and you drink and then drink because then you eat and then it's just warm and then you hate. I'm going to say something. I don't know why I'm going to be so raw with you, but you're being straight with me, so I'll be straight with you. Something amazing happened to me the other day. I used to do a lot of singing, and I was in like pantomimes and theatre and all that kind of stuff. And up until the last week, I didn't even go to the place where people used to know me because I was scared that they would think I was put on weight. And up until the last week, I stood outside that theater and I was proud. For the first time, literally for the first time. So listen, doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, we've all got a demons.
You know, listen, champ. I don't got no degree. I do, but I got a PA. I got a master's in the streets. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I learned so much.
Look at Floyd Mayweather, though, bro. I'm not saying he can't read. He's earned $400 million in exhibition fights since he's retired.
Yeah, he can read now.
That out there,
I'm sure. I seen him doing some reading. He can read now.
Yeah.
He can
read
good.
Not Winnie the Pooh or anything, though.
No, he was reading some good stuff. He can read. He can read good.
I'm joking.
Yeah, he learned some good stuff. He doing his thing with the read. Listen, that's what you got money for, to get your education. My mother was working hard to get me to get money so I could be educated. If you leave a child alone, it's gonna be uneducated. Floyd put all that time in the boxing. Now he got somebody to come in. He can get an AI that can read for him.
How good? Did you see Floyd the other day in that exhibition?
No, I didn't see it. I missed it.
He is special, that man.
Yeah,
honestly,
come on.
46 years of age.
Yeah,
I swear to God. I mean, don't get me wrong. The guy didn't have the best pedigree. He was an MMA fighter. He had one pro fight, but still, I mean, he'd literally hit you with any shot whenever he wanted. It was magical watching him. Just wish the promotion was better. Going on to you, and I'll bring it a bit lighter now because we've gone through all the testing questions, and I think you are absolutely hilarious. Okay. And the stuff you used to do to get fights, and this isn't new. This isn't new to the industry. Muhammad Ali did it with Sonny Liston. I remember Sonny Liston pulled that fake gun out and started shooting in the air, and Ali absolutely, pooed his pants.
Yeah.
But you were trolling everyone, Davey Day, everyone. But the main one, of course, was Vladimir Klitschko, and you did some so funny things. But this, I'm going to show everybody, this is the funniest thing. So basically what happened, I don't know how you found out that he was on the surfboard in the middle of the sea.
A girl told me.
Another girl. Hey, the girl again. She's back. And you just got the speedboat and started, right, watch this. It's so funny.
Yo, what's up, let's go. Everywhere you go, I go.
Funny or what?
Huh?
Funny?
Yeah, you think it's funny? You think it's funny now? You think it's funny? Now you see me, I'm everywhere, baby. Everywhere you go, I go. What's up, man? Vladimir, let's go. Call me champ. Yeah, make a wave, dog. Make a wave. Yeah. Yeah, champ. Oh, little man. Let's go, champ.
It's that laughing.
Let's go, champ.
The best bit was when he went, make a wave.
Let's go, champ.
It was so funny. And not only that, you did things like you turned up when he was at a restaurant and just took his food off him, started eating his food, saying, what you eat, I eat, champ, and then he ended up putting water on your head. I mean, mate, it was entertaining.
And I was like, man, I'm going to catch him out here one day and I'm going to get a fight with him because a lot of people don't know I fought his brother. And in the first round, my left tendon in my arm popped and my bicep, and I fought him for 12 rounds. And he beat the hell out of me, Dan. He beat me damn near to death, man. Nobody could believe that I didn't die or go into a coma, And I didn't quit. But I figured it was gonna be my last fight forever. And then I decided, to get back in shape. I started training. I told you, and this is when I went into like the whole depression after the fight with his brother. I didn't blame him, but I never got paid for that fight.
Really?
I didn't get paid. So,
wow.
The thing was when Vladimir when I found out he was living in Florida, I never got paid for the fight. I was like, man, it wasn't their fault.
Hey, there, champ. How did you not get paid for a fight?
I just had bad people at the time that I was working with, and
right.
They, bad management and the bad promoters, and they stole my money, and I had to take them to court. And I eventually won, and they gave me like damn near on pennies on what I was owed. They gave me like $400,000+, and it was just bad time, and I had to live off of what I had and take care of my family. And then his brother, they moved down here, to the neighborhood, not too far. So I was like, man, this guy got a lot of nerve. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I took a page. I was up late one night, and I was watching Clubber Lang on Rocky with Mr. T. And I just was watching that, and I fell asleep to it. And when I woke up in the morning, I was like, that's it. I pitied the fool. I got to go Mr. T on him. And I started saying, let's go, champ. And I said, that's going to be my thing. I'm going to do the son of Clubber Lang. That was going to be my Monica, the son of Clubber Lang. And I'm just going to hunt and track down every fighter that I can to get a fight. Because, again, they had blackballed me out the game. They ain't want to see me. They ain't want to see me shine. So I had to make it a point to interrupt as much as I could. George Foreman hit me with a right hand, Dan. He hit me with a right hand, and he hit me, and I was knocked out cold. And then he hit me. I was going to go down. I was fading out. I knew I was knocked out. And he hit me with a left uppercut, and he woke me up. And I looked at him, and I grabbed him, and I was like, oh, my God. But my jaw was hurting so bad. It's like my jaw went into my brain. My jawbone, it's like, it was unbelievable pain, man. He was hitting so hard, man. I couldn't believe it.
I mean, George is one of the biggest punchers of all time, isn't he? Probably him and Ernie Shavers got to be up there. But apparently, a lot of people say Mike Tyson is one of the biggest of all time. But Lennox Lewis said you punched harder.
Nah, Lennox hit hard, man. Lennox hit so hard.
No, than Mike.
I know, but Lennox hit so hard. Trust me, Lennox hit hard. He hit me so hard, I didn't know where I was at.
Yeah.
I didn't even know where I was at. But when I hit the ground, I was landing. I didn't even know where I was at. And then I came to, and I just stood up. I thought I was at home getting out the bed. You know how like you at home and you say, just get up? When he hit me, I was on the ground. I was like this. And then I was like, well, I'm home. Let me get up. But when I got up, I was in the fight. I was like, oh, shit.
Oh, but here we go. Can you please fight John Fury? I know he's not a boxer, but well, please. Hey, mate, that'd be sick. Would you fight John Fury? That'd be brilliant. That'd be a brilliant pay-per-view.
I would, but they got to give him life insurance.
That's how he's an odd man. He is. I'm telling you now. He imagine the press conferences to see John Fury.
That's my boy. I love John. That's my boy.
Can you imagine the press conferences?
I can't fight John. I love him too much. He's the best.